No music on YouTube. Not allowed. Music bad. Okay. Good morning. I can still say that. It's 11:03 in the a.m. Today is Saturday, the 21st of March. I can say that with confidence because the car is displaying that to me right now. Yeah, it's Saturday and I'm driving the car. Just didn't want to fire up the truck. And having that choke issue I gotta try to look into sometime. Some clean windows here. Oh, they got a big screen TV across the street. Nice. So, try not to make this too long of a video. Last time I did this, actually I lost the footage to it, but did a almost an hour long. I'll try not to do that this time. It's 53 degrees outside right now. Let's avoid the fire hydrant. Those don't go well with new cars. We're going to pop down into Lynnwood. I want to hit the hobby store. Got a model build sequence that I'm working on for you guys. I need some paints. All the stuff I got's all dried up. Been talking about doing one of these for a while, so finally picked up a neat little model truck and we're going to build it and document it. Hopefully it turns out halfway decent. I'm not going hog wild with it, but need some colored paints. Probably be working on that this afternoon, so this will probably be your video for the day. It's a little breezy out. Rain off and on throughout the day today. Wind was blowing pretty good earlier and something was banging. I don't know if it was one of the neighbors' houses or mine, but didn't see anything flapping around in my place. Almost had to work today, but we got out of that. Got a brand new boss again. Well, not brand new. He's been with the company, I think he said 26, 27 years. So my old boss put in for a transfer to go out to actually Kevin's building on second shift, no less. Never know, he may wind up being Kevin's boss. Kevin is my brother, for those of you that don't know. He also has a YouTube channel, Kevin92XJ. He doesn't quite go as hardcore as I do with this YouTube thing, but he's got some decent videos up as well. I told the boss, he says, hey, you got a brother out there, don't go easy on him, huh? But apparently, well, not apparently, Boeing does have quite a few 787s that we call them the teenager planes. Planes 10 through 21. And those are kind of our troubled airplanes. There were a lot of design changes that were being implemented at that time, so those aircraft, they're not up to the current revision, if you will. So there's a lot of updates that need to be made to them, and not very many of them had customers. We kind of built them. That was the beginning of the program. So a lot of the customers that originally had agreed to buy those aircraft says, we'd rather have a little bit later production number where your experience levels are up a little bit more so that we're a little more confident we're going to get the full life out of this airplane. One of the big things is oversized holes for fasteners and whatnot, bolts, nuts, washers. What's this guy doing? In the aviation industry, when you drill a 1/4 inch hole or a 250 thousandths hole, the goal is to drill that to 250. If you go over that, it's acceptable. That hole is actually designed, I think, to go up to like a 312 thousandths of an inch. It's at 3/8. Sounds a little bit big. I can't remember the decimal equivalents and all that stuff, but off the top of my head. So what we actually do is we drill the hole to the smallest allowable tolerance that we can get away with to hold stuff. Can we make this? I sure hope so. Hang on, here we go. Full throttle into cruise. 50, 60. Yeehaw! The little white car never caught up to us behind us. But yeah, so we drill a hole, keeping it as small as we possibly can for engineering requirements, and then throughout the life of the aircraft, every time that fastener is removed, you know, if they're changing out stuff or overhauling the aircraft or whatnot, they're allowed to open that hole. So like 312 thousandths would be the maximum allowable size for that hole, because you can't let, you know, holes side by side get too close together. You know what I mean? The bigger you drill them, the less material there is between the holes. That creates stress points and cracking and all that kind of thing. So a lot of the teenage planes have got some oversized holes. That's what I'm getting at. So the life expectancy of those aircraft is not quite as long as if, say, we built them completely perfect. But that was a learning experience. I've got a few oversized holes on these aircraft. Luckily now, we don't really do a lot of drilling. I can't remember the last time I actually drilled a hole was. I know it was fairly recently, within the last few months, but let's just sneak right in through here. Oh, just hammering on the little car today. I'm going to take his everything's happy. A lot of people out today. First full day of spring. Happy spring, everybody. It's here. But anyway, yeah, so these teenage aircraft are going out to call the EMC, the Everett Modification Center, which is where my brother Kevin is based. My boss is going out there. His background, he came from McDonnell Douglas before Boeing merged with them. And so his forte is, he works for him. He's been in the aviation industry for 20, 30 years. My old boss. And his big thing is refurb on in-flight aircraft. Well, not in flight, but in service aircraft. So a lot of these teenage aircraft, they're going to be torn back down, gutted, reworked, brought up to the latest revisions, because we now have customers for them being sold at quite a substantial discount. So that's where the EMC will come into play, rework center. All the neat stuff to deal with big business and large aviation manufacturing facilities on stormy Pacific Northwest days. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the big Oso landslide. Killed, what was it, 57 people, 47, 37, something like that. I thought it was longer than a year already, but how time flies. One of these days I keep meaning to drive up there, just go drive through the landslide area. They've got the road open back up. They did that last fall, early winter, something like that. Oh, blue sky. Big disaster is close to home. Go drive through it and check it out sometime. Only I don't think it's half hour from the house. Apparently the Honda behind me is really in a hurry. Gotta go, gotta go. Slide in between Mr. Subaru. Yeah, another month or so, this thing will be ready for its next oil change. Oil life's down to 30%, 31%, something like that. Got 12,165 miles on the car. What are we, 1 year or almost 2 months into ownership? That's not bad. I think I did right over 5,000 miles. No, I'm trying to remember how many I had when I had the 1 year mark. It was right around 11,000, so like 5,500 miles. I think I've got it insured for 6,500. So. She's been doing good. That little buzzing I keep hearing from underneath the hood that I did that short video on, I haven't even heard that for a while. Keep hoping to catch it and just make a clip of that. Throw it up on YouTube. And if I do go into the, or when I do go back to the dealership, I can say, hey, see if we can get them to go to YouTube and just do a private little video or whatever. Somebody mentioned, I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, mentioned it was something to do with the air conditioning, the circulation pump for the AC, and there's I don't remember what he said, an update. It's supposed to be like a software update that you do to the car to get it to stop that. So I'll mention it to him. I haven't seen any recall notices or anything come out on it. So our parts are starting to flow back into the factory, which is a good thing. The work slowdown is over at the Port of Seattle and the West Coast ports. So our parts are starting to flow. I feel the wind blowing me around here. It's kind of why they wanted us to come in and work overtime this weekend. Even though my work package, my jobs that still need to be worked is well below 20 over several aircraft, but everything that we do have that's not workable is still held for parts. So luckily the new boss was able to flex his muscles and say, no, I'm not going to come in. Because if I did have to go in and there was no workable stuff on my work package, I would be loaned out to another work package, which they're not going to give me workable stuff. They're going to give me the stuff that's so screwed up it can't be completed. Parts are missing or whatever. Things that they don't want to touch. And unfortunately, quite a few of those work areas that are behind are not necessarily behind because of part shortages. They're behind because they just don't want to do the work. I'm not going to let them sit around and watch me do all their work for them. So we really fight the designated overtime. I know the crew that I used to work with, that I was split off of, they've got work. They're in this weekend, but they're volunteer only. Even though they're, I don't know, 200 jobs behind schedule. They don't have parts to work all of them, but the ones that they do have parts for, they've got under control. long story short, I didn't have to come in today. So instead, we're going to drive down to Lynnwood, pop into the hobby store. There's one here in Everett, but I was there last weekend. It's actually a model railroad magazine that he was sold out of. I'd like to see if they got down here, so I would prefer to spend my money at the one here in Everett. Nice guy. Dealt with him ever since I've been living up this way. It's a nice little hobby shop. Everybody that works there is really, really nice. Not saying that the one down here in Lynnwood's a bad place, but Broadway Hobbies is that's a good little store. Lou, the owner, you go in there, and introduce yourself, make your presence known a little bit. He'll bend over backwards to help you out. Told me once I was looking for one of the batteries for the RCs. Replaced it last year that I've never even charged. He says, this is my hot selling battery. Normally it's, I can't remember what it was for the price, so let's just say 80 cents. But I like to take care of my regular customers. So for you, I'll give it to you for cost plus 10% or whatever it was. So it came out to be under 40 bucks. He says, I will keep coming to you to spend my money, sir. He's got a pretty good selection, and he's flat out told me if there's anything that you want that I do not have, I've got catalogs and catalogs and catalogs to order from. He's got suppliers and sources. He can get stuff. He's big on the RC stuff. But he's got the model trains, he's got the model cars, the paints, and the books, and the magazines, and all that stuff. So kites and model aircraft and radio controlled aircraft. Sure glad I brought my sunglasses. The sun just came out. Wind's blowing me around a little bit. I know, I said I wasn't going to make this a long video. We'll probably just end it when we get to the hobby store. There you go, Kevin. That's what you need right there. On the trailer. A nice little trailer for all the ATV around. I was online a couple weeks ago looking at trailers again. There's some nice ones out there, but I'm not finding the deals that I did this time last year, over the summertime or whatnot. So I swear I found one that was up at the dealership north of me in Marysville, that it was like just over $1,000 cash price advertised. I don't remember what size it was. Right now, for what I'm looking for, I'd like a 6 foot wide, not a 5 foot wide deck. Just for the simple fact, if I put wheel spacers or whatnot on the ATV, I'd like to make sure that it will fit. But it's usually just a couple $100 more for the extra foot in width. But they were either a 10 or a 12 foot. Going for about 14 to 1600, maybe up to 1800. Which is not terrible, but I'd like to find something closer to 1,000 new. I'm not finding very much in the way of used trailers that is piquing my interest. I don't want somebody's home built. Tomorrow is supposed to be really nice, like 63, 64 degrees, sunshiny, beautiful weather, hopefully not breezy. I think tomorrow, get my lazy arse up and moving, and we're gonna putting some brakes on that Jimmy. Let's get that busted out. Spend the day outside. My exit is coming up here, so we gotta watch the bozos coming on the freeway. Don't see his blinker on yet, so. South on the 405, this will be our exit. I still like those little Kia Souls. If they would have got a little better gas mileage, I might have considered, more heavily considered buying one. I only get about 33 from what I was looking at. Watch out, Mr. Toyota. Jeez. Idiot. I was racing to getting ahead of the guy behind me, and I'm touching the brakes to slow down, and he's still accelerating. Oh, now he's coming back over. What a moron. Almost rear-ended me just to get 2 cars ahead. Stupid people. And he was merging from that last on-ramp, so it's like, yeah, that's just being a bonehead. Yeah, it's a little windy out today. I can really hear the wind whipping around these mirrors. I'll have to check next week's weather. Maybe if it's not going to be too bad, I'll wash the car tomorrow too. Kind of needs it. There is a motorcycle equipment shop right here on 196th. I don't think we're going to hit it today. I'd like to pick up a visor, or a helmet, a new helmet that has a sun visor in it, that has the shade in it. It's got the little drop down like the aviator kind of, it's basically sunglasses that drop down from overhead. Guy at work's got one, and he let me play around with it a little bit. And because usually when the sun is out, I need sunglasses. But when I'm wearing the goggles with the open mask, I can't really wear sunglasses. Now I can get shaded goggles, but then what if the sun goes away? Okay, merging over. Just hold this lane. Yeah, little Soul's kind of a neat little rig. I like the color on that one too. They were real comfortable when I was looking at them at the car shows. Real easy to get in and out. That's what really impressed me about them. Like I say, if they just would have got a little better gas mileage. And I kind of like the interior with all the LED accent lighting and everything. That was kind of cool. But I bought the Chevy Cruze, and I'm happy with it. City of Lynnwood. What we got for time on this one? 24, 26 minutes. I think we're going to go ahead and shut you guys off. We'll be pulling up to the hobby shop here in a few minutes. I'll have to just watch the model building video to show what I picked up. So we will catch you all in the next one. Be good. I don't know if I'll really be posting anything else for today. I'll get home and put this one up. Give you all something to watch. We'll have something for tomorrow as well. So talk to you all later. Bye-bye.